Hey guys, this is Lior with Angle and Volkers, and in this video, we're going to talk about one of the most common questions I get today, which is it a good time to buy in Boston? All right, so if you've even thought about potentially buying a new home, buying a new investment property, and it's 2019, one of the first questions you're probably thinking is it a good time, right? I mean, we've been on a hyper accelerated market for the last, close to 10 years, right? So prices have gone up dramatically. So one of the first instinctual questions most people want to know is, should I wait a couple of years? Or, is this a now smart time to buy? So first, the answer is both yes and no. Right? It's both a good time and a bad time. And here's what I mean. It's a bad time to buy if you think you're going to be, for example, flipping, right? Or if you're not a professional flipper and you're thinking about flipping, or if you think you're going to only, live in the home or property for maybe half a year to a year, right? Because if you're going to buy for the short-term gain, you are going in a little bit of danger, right? You never know what's going to happen within the next half a year to 2 years. Most people think we're gonna, this current cycle of the real estate cycle is gonna ride out for the next year or two. But again, if you're gonna buy today and you're gonna think, in the plans of selling within a year, right, to make $50,000, $100,000, that's a risky strategy. And I would say, no, this is not the time to do that. But if you're thinking about, if you're willing to play the long game, right? So if you're willing to buy a home or an investment property around the Boston area and you're willing to play the long game of 5 years, 10 years, and so on, right? I think it is a fantastic time to buy. And there's two reasons, right? We can look at it from both a global trend perspective and a numerical perspective, right? From a trend perspective, look what's been going on in Boston. First of all, the diversity of our economy has just been incredible, and it has brought so many new jobs, right? From both biotech, which has obviously been a huge industry, but now we've got plenty of tech, fintech, healthcare, education, right? The diversity of our economy in Boston is so strong and diverse with so many huge industries that it's hard to see Boston getting wiped off the map anytime soon, right? There's just way too much money here. From the industries, from national investments, international investments, there's just a lot going on. So over 5 to 10 years, right, regardless of what happens with the global economy, it's not like all these industries are going to be wiped off the face of the earth, right? They may take a dip, but they're going to come back like they did the last recession. And here's the other point, right? Think about pricing in Boston right now. We just had one of the more expensive a huge condo project in Fenway, the Piers sell out, and they sold it around $1,500 per square foot, which sounds high, but then you have to remember that there's markets, international markets like Tokyo, right, which is currently trading at 10,000 square foot, London, which is currently trading at 5,000 a square foot, or New York, right, they're trading at 4,000 a square foot. So here's the thing, all these areas that are just as prominent as Boston, right, Boston's climbing to be just as big as these cities from an economic perspective, right? All these cities are way more expensive than Boston. So here's the bet you're trying to make is, do you think Boston's gonna be just as big economically in the next 5 to 10 years, right? And based on everything we just talked about, all these industries, all the growth that's been going on here, I personally am betting yes, right? It's hard to see Boston not become a major dominant player in the global market. So if you believe that as well, and again, today you see that prices in Boston are trading at 1/10 of the prices they are in some Asian markets or 1/5 in some European markets. If you're willing to wait, like I said, if you're willing to wait that 10 to 15 years, right? Even 5, 10, 15 years, whatever that time mark is, it's hard to see Boston not becoming a better and stronger market and you making money on real estate. So if you're willing to play that long-term game, and if you believe that Boston's going to continue to rise and continue to grow, and within all the industries and the population, and more money coming in over the future, then it is a great time to buy. But again, if you're going to be someone that's going to play a short-term game, then you got to be very, very careful, and you better know what you're doing because it's very, very easy to lose money. So hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below.